So you've heard about Moldavite and you're excited and you want to hear more. I got you. Things are really different for me since bringing in Moldavite. So what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to make an extensive, basic guide of bringing Moldavite into your life and how to really access this energy and to work with it. So we're gonna lay this out by number one, talking about picking your Moldavite, size, shape, location, what's gonna be the best route to go for you, right? Then we're gonna talk about how to wear, where you're gonna wear this, how you're gonna use the Moldavite and activate this energy in your life. And then we're gonna be talking about what to expect in terms of the effects, things that are gonna come up, things you might be noticing. And actually in this, we're gonna talk about how you can actually grow the things that are taking place too. It's hard to explain right now, but it's kind of like a chain reaction, which I'll get into. Then we're gonna talk about crystals that you might wanna combine with this to increase the energy, to kind of change the dynamic of the echo you receive back from the universe in this kind of energy we're working with. And then we're gonna talk about different practices and methods that we can use to expedite our spiritual evolution with Moldavite. So welcome back to Vibes and Frequencies. I'm Nathan and I make videos to help people to be the most powerful expression of themselves. And in this video, we're talking about this extensive guide with Moldavite, right? So first things first, you've heard about Moldavite probably on the different social medias right now. It's really blowing up and for good reason. Moldavite is an incredible power and like I said in the beginning of the video, I mean, it's changed so much for me. So how do you know what piece to get? Very simply put, you're gonna wanna choose the piece that is calling to you the most. Now this might sound obvious, but there's so many different sizes and shapes and field locations that the Moldavite is found that can somewhat influence these energies. For example, we've got Chlum, Bezednis, right? So the way that you're gonna wanna choose is simply by looking at different pieces and seeing which is the piece that you kind of just think is the most beautiful, is the easiest way to put this. The piece that you think is the most beautiful, that really is attractive to you, is going to be the most powerful piece that you're gonna wanna bring in. And the reason for this is because of resonance. There's all kinds of opinions on YouTube about what is the most powerful Moldavite, or if you need a big piece, or what's the difference of having more. I've even made videos about this on the past. But at the end of the day, it's all about what is most attractive to you and what resonates with you, because what's attractive to you is going to be something that you are giving your attention to. For example, this piece of Moldavite I just think is completely beautiful. I just love the little indentations in it. I love the way that it's formed. I'll show you a little bit closer. So this piece is really powerful for me because I find myself sitting down and really giving this a lot of my attention, and I find myself consciously working with it a lot more, which we're gonna get into working with Moldavite momentarily. So choose the piece, the size, the shape, whatever resonates with you, and know that other people's experiences talking about Bezednis being the most powerful, or you need to have a piece that's over 50 grams. These things are not true unless they're true for you. This is all about your own specific choice and frequency. Just liberate yourself by just going for what you like and what you want, and know that you're gonna have a positive experience and that a lot of transformation is gonna be taking place no matter what. So you can feel safe in knowing that there's really not a right or wrong way to go. Yes, I have a bigger piece of Moldavite I've showed you. This is because I'm a little bit obsessive, and to me, I give it permission to give me a little bit more energy. But this isn't the case, because that's not truth. That's my perspective and opinion. We're talking about truth, not opinions, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about is the best way to use, wear, and to activate this energy in your life. Now, again, the simple explanation is that you're gonna wanna use this and how you use it in the way that resonates with you. For me, I love wearing this over my heart because this is a heart energy and a heart activator. And this is a really balancing, kind of bringing us into the present moment, kind of open energy that we're working with. So for me, again, this is a matter of permission. It resonates a lot with me to wear it over my heart. And I continuously wear it, and to me, I look at this as me merging and becoming one with this Moldavite energy. And this really helps me to encompass this vibration in all aspects of my life, without having to pull it out and use it like a tool, but to know that it really is me. It's an extension of myself. Now, a lot of people wear rings, And this is really powerful because you can use your intention, right? You could put this on your right hand. You could put on like a Moldavite ring on your right hand, and you could look at this as you creating and giving transformational energy to the world around you. You could put it on your left hand and look at this as receiving the energy of Moldavite into you, right? So there's all different ways that we can go about this. I've actually got a video about different ways that we can use and feel Moldavite and to encourage this energy to grow in our lives. I'll tag that in the description of the video for you. I've actually got a video on the size and shape of Moldavite as well. I'll put that in the description for you as well. So this is the best way to use and to wear it, is to use it in the way that makes sense to you. Look at your intention. What is it that you're coming into this for? What is it about Moldavite that's exciting to you that you're bringing this into your life, right? And you can simply look at how you want to use it in this way. A lot of times people bring in Moldavite for psychic power and activation. So what I like to do for this is wear a piece of Moldavite like this, a smaller piece, works really well here, and to fit it in a bandana that you can wear as a headband over your third eye. You can put it under your pillow while you sleep, right? Things like this. There's really so many ways to use it. But when we talk about the activation of Moldavite, activating Moldavite is kind of a different story. Because what does this really mean when we say that we're activating Moldavite? What it really means is that we're activating this energy within ourselves. Symbolically speaking, this means that we are activating and giving ourselves permission and allowing ourselves to be on a spiritual path that is expedited, that is moving quickly, that is revolving over and over and over again and moving us through different doors in our lives. This is why so many people find that things are constantly changing, falling apart, and coming into place that they might not have expected when they first got Moldavite. So this is what we're talking about, is activating this in your life, but also to be activating the inherent energy and vibration that Moldavite is carrying. And the way that we can do this, I find the way that it works best, is actually to just sit here and look at your Moldavite in the sun. This is the best way that I've found to really activate it. And just really look at your Moldavite. You can feel the grooves. And essentially what we're doing here is we're giving our full attention to our Moldavite. Because when we look at what we are, there's a lot to us. We're a human meat suit with a soul, spirit, whatever you want to call this, however you relate to this, kind of driving the vehicle and experiencing it. And in this human meat suit, spirit, soul, we're carrying a very incredible power, and it is attention. Attention is an incredible, basically, ability that we have, where when we give something our attention, it's essentially like having a garden. Your attention is the water, and when you give it to something, it's able to grow and blossom. When you give something your full attention, it literally becomes your reality. It becomes your experience. And this has a lot to do with law of attraction. Now, by the way, utilizing the law of attraction with Moldavite is really awesome and incredible. I recommend that you do. I've got a video all about this. I'll tag it in the description for you as well. But when we give our Moldavite our full attention, we sit here and we really give it this capability to take all of us, then the Moldavite responds by amplifying who we are. Who we are is what we're giving to the Moldavite when we're sitting here, letting go of all the noise and just giving ourselves to the Moldavite and being here with it, being in the present moment, essentially. Now, crystals have the ability to amplify our intentions and hold memory. So when we're doing this and we're giving this, it's going to amplify the energy that we're giving it. It's going to amplify it with the vibration of Moldavite and bounce it right back to you. Now, this sounds really far out, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. I do have a video all about Moldavite activation as well. I'll put that in the description for you. So when we get into what to expect when you're working with your Moldavite, I would recommend going into working with your Moldavite with no expectations. But I know that realistically speaking, when we hear about Moldavite and we see all the excitement about this, we're going to go in with a little bit of expectations and intention that we might have heard other people talk about. You know, we might want to increase certain areas of our lives. But this being said, when I first got Moldavite, I might be able to say that my intention and what I expect is that I'm going to use Moldavite to help manifest my music career and help me to be a famous musician, right? This is what I was doing at this time of my life. And now, I'm on a completely different path that has unfolded in a totally different direction. My idea of my life and my future has nothing to do with this famous musician anymore, right? I'm a spiritualist now. I've completely moved away from my old life and I just live in the nature basically, and I just meditate, listen all day, and work with my crystals and make videos about it. Very different. So this is why I say that if we can let go of our expectations when we come into working with Moldavite, you're actually gonna have a much smoother ride. Because a lot of times what happens is that Moldavite starts bringing things up in people's lives. Things start falling apart, relationships might start getting a little bit aggravating, and people get scared about this and it freaks them out, and we can kind of point and say, oh my gosh, I got my Moldavite, all this crazy stuff is going on. But if we had zero expectations, then it would mean that nothing is actually falling apart, because it's our perspective and our expectations that make it seem like things are. If we go in with an open mind and an open heart, and we just know that we're going into a journey of spiritual evolution and transformation, then everything that happens is simply change. It's simply the world changing in and outside of us. All is one, right? So if we can let go of the expectations and thinking that this is going to happen, or I want this to happen, or how come I don't feel this thing that this guy on YouTube talks about? Let go of these expectations, because all of our transformations are going to be taking place in a different direction. Because why? We are a different person. You are you, I am me. Again, we've got this all as one, but our own unique individual spiritual path is unfolding for you. It's your special journey. Moldavite is going to expedite your journey, but in what direction? I don't know. I can't tell you. And that's the exciting thing. That's the really exciting thing. What we're doing when we bring Moldavite into our life is we're speeding up a process that we're already a part of and that we're already here for. It's just kind of like kicking up the engine and pushing it a lot quicker, you know? So what you can expect and what you'll notice is a lot of things changing in your life. You might notice things coming up about yourself that you maybe thought that you had already healed and worked through in the past. And now you find that it turns out that it's actually something that you pushed away and ignored. Moldavite might bring a lot of these things up because it's allowing us a chance to integrate and become one with it. Moldavite is helping us a lot with a lot of different things, right? And it's all going to be a very unique experience for you. There are some basic effects. I've got a video, the top 10 effects of Moldavite. But again, these are effects that I'm talking about that were part of my path and my journey. If you really find yourself resonating with me, it's possible that you'll find a lot of the things that I talk about being the same for you. But at the end of the day, these are opinions. These are perspectives. This is my own individual experience that I'm sharing with you, right? So the most powerful thing that we can do is let go of what other people say and let go of all these ideas that we think are going to happen and simply be with your crystal and simply work with your crystal. And if you're someone that's not 100% sure how to work with crystals, I've got a video all about how I work with crystals, and I'll put that in the description for you as well. So in a nutshell, what to expect? Expect nothing. Expect absolutely nothing, and you will receive everything. Trust me, just let go and listen to the world around you as it unfolds. Can't go wrong. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about crystals to combine this with. So this is really going to depend on your intention and what you're going for with your experience. So again, what we want to do is we want to let go of the expectations and the intentions and all these things, because we want to just allow this to unfold for us and find ourselves really present and open in the experience, right? This being said, I know that a lot of times, a lot of us will not let go of our expectations or intentions. So in this part, I'm going to share with you the crystals that you can use to amplify your specific intentions that you might be going into this with. So if you're going into this because you're trying to open your third eye activation and to see into other dimensions, right? Like if you're somebody really into magic and psychic things, I'm totally with you. I feel you. I'm all about this stuff too. I would really recommend working with amethyst. Amethyst really helps to relax this kind of third eye energy and to help to bring it to a kind of more centered space, because Moldavite is this really kind of like high vibrational kind of jarring energy sometimes. And a lot of times what it ends up doing in the beginning is a lot of us go really high up. We go really high up with it. We go so high that we basically can end up living in fantasy worlds, like totally different dimensions, and we miss the fact that we're actually here. So amethyst is a really relaxing energy to help you to kind of navigate this in the third eye area. I really do recommend that you bring in some grounding energy. And you can do this. My favorite is Tourmaline. Tourmaline is the most balancing for me. I prefer wearing multicolored tourmaline because I get some other energies in there too. And this really helps to balance the energy and find yourself in that center, right? So bringing that high vibrational energy into a centered place is really so important. We're talking here about integration. You know, we're really talking about integration, because somebody could tell you something, you could see something, and you could know something technically, but that doesn't mean that we are one with it. To become one with Moldavite and to integrate this energy is kind of a different process. And I've got a video actually about working with multicolored tourmaline. I'll tag in the description for you guys too. There's so many videos I'm tagging. Oh my gosh. Can you tell I got a lot of videos about Moldavite? Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I just keep making them too, you know? So that's really what I would recommend. I have a lot of love for a crystal called Phenacite. And this is a really high vibrational crown chakra energy. It is of my opinion that working with Phenacite and Moldavite is a very powerful way to crack you into God energy, oneness, right? If this is your intention, if you're really trying to open yourself into spirituality and that's what's exciting for you, I recommend Phenacite. I've got a Phenacite playlist. I will tag that whole playlist as in the part of the description of videos to check out next. I really do recommend everybody get some Phenacite that has Moldavite. If you love Moldavite, Phenacite's just gonna melt your heart, I'm telling you. It's just awesome. So these are just some. I could keep going on, but I've got a whole playlist all about different crystals to combine with Moldavite. Those three that I shared are the most basic that I would mention to somebody just starting out and getting into it. If you want to take it further, you can check out that playlist on the combinations that I have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about something that to me is a very important part of this video and is just really something that we can really resonate with, okay? It's practices that you can use in working with your Moldavite and being on this spiritual journey. Practices and methods to help to expedite this. Meditation, all right? I'm just gonna start throwing it at you. I'm not gonna waste your time. You're excited to get going with your Moldavite, I feel ya. Meditation. Meditation is really, really important. Meditation, we can find ourselves transforming in a very similar way that Moldavite is helping us to transform. But here's the thing. It's not that we need to meditate with our Moldavite to activate it, right? It's not that we need to meditate with it. It's not that we need to, you know, do all this stuff. It's not that that needs to take place to feel the effect of Moldavite. What it is that Moldavite, again, brings up a lot of these layers and things about us. And a lot of times we can just carry that around in our thought forms, and we can just carry that around, and this can kind of cause people to walk around feeling like their life is getting messed up. Again, right? This is a lot of times what people say, and they get kind of scared of Moldavite and the effects of it. If you meditate as a conscious practice that you are continuously building a habit with while you're working with Moldavite, this is going to give you the ability to help you work on silencing the mind, integrating the mind, and connecting the mind to the heart, as well as helping you to dissolve and fully integrate and release these things that Moldavite is bringing up. You could think of it as Moldavite's going to help you to like bring things up into your attention, and you can use meditation to help yourself to become one with that. Because otherwise you're just kind of like dragging it behind you, right? Like you learn something new and then you're just dragging it behind you, and it's like, well, what is this? Well, what it is going to be really profound if you're meditating simultaneously. So I really, really recommend that you make and bring meditation into your spiritual practice. Now, if you're someone that has a hard time feeling crystal energies, I actually recommend doing a fasting regimen and bringing Moldavite into this. So this means, and fasting is something that's not going to be healthy for everybody. So make sure that you look into this for yourself and you really check out and make sure with your doctor, right? All that stuff. Disclaimer. Don't get mad at me if this doesn't work for you. So try fasting, right? Going without food. And you can do this with water. I like to do dry fasting, but I recommend doing it with water first. And essentially you're allowing your system to just kind of clean itself out. And I find that this brings me into a very interesting kind of state of being where I can tune in and tap into energies a lot more powerfully and find myself integrating them. Now, this is a little bit more jagged of an experience. It really pumps up the intensity for me, but that's why I like it. You know, that's why I like it. I also really recommend checking out Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is incredible. There's awesome supplements. We're talking Ormus, we're talking Shilajit. I've actually got a whole video about this. Top 3 things to increase the power of crystals. I'll tag that below for you guys. So as you can see, there's a lot going on with Moldavite, and there's a lot going on in the world of crystals and energy healing. This video is intended to help anybody get started. I do have really extensive playlists on Moldavite to take this further. We're talking how to use Moldavite to shift dimensions. We're talking how to use Moldavite to open your third eye. We're talking about how to use Moldavite to shift into your most optimal timeline. We're talking about using Moldavite to manifest your dream life, right? There's so many different things we can do with this powerful tool. It's beautiful, it's incredible. If you like Moldavite, definitely make sure to subscribe. I got 3 videos coming out every single week. I will see you for the next one. If you got any comments or questions about Moldavite, I'll be excited to help you out with that below. Thanks for watching. Once again, my name's Nathan. I'll see you soon, and I'm really excited for you to get started with your Moldavite journey. I'm telling you. Sometimes I have these moments now where it's just like, damn.